Good morning. I hereby call to order this 18th meeting of the Pennsylvania Public Utility Commission for the year 2017. And in recognition of Pearl Harbor Day, we are going to be asking one of our veterans here at the PUC, Damon Anderson, who is the Information Technology Manager at MIS, to lead us in this morning's Pledge of Allegiance. So if you could please stand. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much, Damon. And we want to thank all of our veterans here today. At this time, because we know that the PUC is always concerned with safety and have brought different safety issues to your attention throughout the years. And we know also that our administrative law judges provide safety tips when they start their hearings. We wanted to also recognize that and provide information to you that in the event of an emergency while we are here at this morning's hearing, we ask that you go down the stairwells that are or to each side of this hearing room and to the outside, go actually through the North Street side of the building for those that may need assistance in going down the stairs, because we know during an emergency our elevators will not work. You will see those persons in orange vests that will be able to assist you. And also for your comfort and convenience, we just wanted to let you know that our restrooms are located on the atrium level of this building, and you can go down and use them at your convenience near the cafeteria. One last final announcement or recognition, let me say. You see a different face here today. As you know, we have a new commissioner, Commissioner Norman Kennard. You might have seen him in other areas of this room whenever we've had our public meeting, usually standing on the side there, but we thought we would ask him to join us up here today since we had that empty seat. No, let me be serious and say that we welcome Commissioner Norman Kennard, who is taking the remaining term of Commissioner Robert Powelson, who has gone on to FERC. He was recently nominated by Governor Tom Wolf and unanimously confirmed by the Senate. And that was in November, a few weeks ago. And we just want to give him the opportunity to say a few words. We know that he has a rich history, not only here in the commission. He worked, as I stated before, for Commissioner Powelson, but he also worked a few years ago for Commissioner Cliff Jones. Yes, he also started his career in the Office of Consumer Advocate, and that had over you're not that old, Norm, but I'm going to say had over a 30-year career in private legal practice. So we know he has a rich history here in utility issues. But we want to welcome him and give him an opportunity to say a few words.
Thank you, Chairman. I have advised two commissioners. Now I have to take my own advice. See if I can do that. First, I want to thank Senate Majority Leader Corman, President Pro Tem Scarnati, and Governor Wolf for their kind consideration and support in nominating and confirming me as the next PUC commissioner. It is the greatest honor of my career to join the four talented and distinguished commissioners on this bench, as led by Chairman Gladys Brown. This is one of the most cutting-edge commissions in the country, an acknowledged trailblazer in so many aspects of utility regulation. We are innovators and problem solvers. I have the highest respect for the many talented and dedicated men and women of this commission. You creatively and thoughtfully address the big challenge of markets in a dynamic state of change, but you also do the boring well. You are the true engines of this agency. I'm thrilled to be supported by the talented and battle-tested staff of Tracy Welk, Crystal Sakavage, and Rachel Maurer. To my fellow commissioners and to the commission staff, I pledge to be a positive force for meaningful change. It is important to me that we operate in an atmosphere of mutual respect in which we all have a meaningful role to play and where all perspectives are valued and listened to. Please know that our doors will always be open to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Kennard. So moving on to our first matter on this morning's agenda, it is the approval of the meeting minutes for October 26, 2017, and I recognize Commissioner Sweet, who is the editor.
Thank you. I reviewed the minutes of the public meeting of October 26, 2017, and move that they be approved as submitted.
You have heard the motion to approve the minutes. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Vice Chairman Place. Any discussion, edits, revisions? Seeing none? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion to approve the October 26, 2017 minutes is approved by a motion of 5-0. When's the last time we've been able to say that? It's been a while. 5-0. And now, as we move on to our next order of the agenda, which is our agenda, we'll call up our Director of the Office of Special Assistance, Cheryl Walker-Davis, to lead us through the agenda.
Thank you. Excuse me. Thank you, Madam Chairman. Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
May it please this honorable commission, on behalf of your various offices and bureaus, we present for your consideration and disposition the following recommendations from your various offices and bureaus. Commencing this morning with matters on behalf of the Commission's Bureau of Consumer Services, it is recommended that the Commission adopt the recommendation appearing on page 1 of the public meeting agenda with regard to the PPL Electric Utilities Corporation Revised Universal Service and Energy Conservation Plan for the period of 2017 through 2019.
Is there a motion to adopt the staff recommendation?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Sweet, second by Commissioner Coleman. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes 5-0.
Turning now to matters presented on behalf of the Commission's Office of Special Assistance, commencing on page 2 of the public meeting agenda, it is recommended that the Commission adopt the items appearing on pages 2, 3, and 4 through and including the last item there appearing pertaining to the joint petition for approval of interconnection agreement involving North Penn Telephone Company and Level 3 Communications, LLC.
Is there a motion to adopt staff recommendations?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Ooh,
Close call.
close call. Motion by Vice Chairman Place, but on my right side, I heard a louder second. I'm sorry, Commissioner Kennard, but you're going to get.
I'll keep trying. I'll get my second.
I heard a second by Commissioner Sweet. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes 5-0.
On behalf of the Commission's Bureau of Technical Utility Services, it is recommended that the Commission adopt the items commencing with those appearing on page 5 and proceeding through pages 6 and 7 through and including the last item there appearing pertaining to the registration of the security certificate of Columbia Gas of Pennsylvania, Inc.
Is there a motion to adopt the staff recommendations?
Motion. So moved.
Here you go. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Kennard, second by Commissioner Sweet. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes 5-0.
We are now on page 8 and turning to matters presented on behalf of the Law Bureau. It is recommended that the Commission adopt the recommendations in the first 2 matters on page 8 involving the Pennsylvania Universal Service Fund, as well as the petition of PennDOT to transfer jurisdiction to the Court of Common Pleas of Jefferson County involving a matter pertaining to the Buffalo and Pittsburgh Railroad, Inc.
Is there a motion to adopt staff recommendations?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Sweet, second by Commissioner Kennard. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes 5-0.
It is recommended that the Commission adopt the Law Bureau's recommendation in the proceeding involving proposed amendments to the Commission's customer information regulations and the rulemaking involving electricity generation customer choice.
Is there a motion to adopt the staff recommendation?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Coleman, second by Commissioner Sweet. Under discussion, is there any discussion? Vice Chairman Place.
Thank you. Madam Secretary, I ask that my statement be entered into the record as if I had read it in its entirety. Before us for consideration is a proposed rulemaking order seeking comments on certain revisions to our customer information regulations concerning electric generation suppliers. The revisions provide for standards and pricing practices for retail electricity services, a disclosure statement for residential and small business customers, marketing sales activities, and the provision of notices of contract expiration or changes in terms for residential and small business customers. As part of this proposed rulemaking, the Commission also seeks to remove inconsistencies between the extensive changes to the natural gas supplier disclosure rules in 2016 and those before us today. As stakeholders review the proposed changes, I wish to emphasize two provisions that I believe can particularly benefit from comments. Firstly, the proposed change at Section 54.32 prohibits the imposition of early termination fees, or ETFs, once the supplier has provided the contract expiration notices required by the regulation of Section 54.10. The Commission is proposing this requirement to be enforceable on all supplier contracts entered into after the effective date of this regulation. This proposed revision is in response to customers who object to having an ETF assessed upon them simply because they acted on the expiration notices sent by the supplier. Secondly, the Commission is proposing several disclosure requirements, including a requirement that generation charges shall be disclosed according to the actual prices per kilowatt hour. The proposed revisions state that if the unit price changes based on customer usage, or if the product includes fees in addition to the unit price, the price per kilowatt hour shall factor in all costs associated with the rate charged to the customer and show the average price per kilowatt hour. I wish to highlight this issue to solicit comments which consider the continued deployment of advanced meters that enable more sophisticated supply products, including spot pricing based on locational marginal price, time of use products, critical peak pricing products, and peak time rebate products. Additionally, demand-based products should be offered which enable greater incentives to reduce usage on peak summer days in exchange for lower long-term allocation of wholesale capacity or transmission costs. In instances like this, is it best to express prices in cents per kilowatt hour? When providing costs at various usage levels, how can the Commission best avoid customer confusion or meet customer price expectations if customer billings are higher or lower than indicated due to changes in how much and when customers use electricity? I want to emphasize that this is a proposed rulemaking and actively encourage parties to provide comments to assist the Commission in providing the necessary guidance and rules to ensure that customers are fully informed regarding the purchase of electricity, including the associated contract terms and conditions. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Chairman Place. Any other discussion? I also would like to put some comments on the record, want to submit my comments in its entirety. Noting also, I echo some of the concerns that Vice Chairman Place had stated in terms of looking forward to reviewing comments on the disclosure requirements. I know that this proceeding represents another step forward in the Commission's effort to empower and protect retail electricity customers as they shop for electric generation services here in Pennsylvania. The retail electric market continues to evolve. As this happens, so too much of the Commission's regulations need to evolve as well. The NOPR includes proposed revisions which protect customers from termination fees during the days leading up to contract expirations, mandate the transparent disclosure of enrollment or monthly fees, mandate the transparent disclosure of introductory prices, and require the inclusion of any additional fees within the supplier price tables to facilitate an apples-to-apple comparison with the price to compare. So I want to thank our Commission staff, including those from the Office of the Competitive Market Oversight, the Law Bureau, and the Bureau of Consumer Services for their continued work in the retail energy competition landscape. And I just look forward to reviewing some of the comments. Any further discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes 5-0.
It is recommended that the Commission adopt the Law Bureau's recommendation in the matter involving the policy statement pertaining to revisions to 52 PA Code Section 4114 pertaining to the elimination of the public need component in applications for motor common carrier service.
Is there a motion to adopt staff recommendation?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Vice Chairman Place, second by Commissioner Kennard. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes 5-0.
And turning now to matters presented on behalf of the Commission's Office of Administrative Law Judge. We're starting on page 9 here. It is recommended that the Commission adopt ALJ Vero's initial decision in the matter involving the complaint of Christopher L. Bretz versus Philadelphia Gas Works.
Is there a motion to adopt the staff recommendation?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Kennard, second by Vice Chairman Place. Any discussion? I do have comments to put on the record. The ALJ in this case determined that the complainant is not responsible for gas usage during the period of February 23rd of 2009 through August 31st of 2015. The ALJ determined that the complainant is responsible for unauthorized usage of gas from September 1st, 2015 to April 5th of 2016, and I agree with the ALJ's disposition of this complaint. However, I wish to emphasize to PGW and all of our natural gas distribution companies the importance of routinely monitoring all of their facilities to determine occurrences of theft of service. To the extent our utilities have not already done so, I strongly recommend that they establish an internal policy to effectively monitor dormant accounts for unauthorized use. Theft of service not only hurts the companies and ratepayers financially, it poses a danger to the public at large due to the likelihood of gas leaks. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes 5-0.
It is recommended that the Commission adopt ALJ Vero's recommended decision in the matter involving the application of Global Rights Transportation LLC.
Is there a motion to adopt the staff recommendation?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Sweet, second by Commissioner Kennard. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes 5-0.
Should be noted that the last item on page 9 pertaining to ALJ Cheskis's initial decision in the matter involving Heather and Norman Franell versus West Penn Power Company has been postponed. Turning now to matters on page 10 of the public meeting agenda, it is recommended that the Commission adopt ALJ Watson's initial decision in the matter involving Kareem Compton versus Philadelphia Gas Works.
Is there a motion to adopt the staff recommendation?
So moved.
Ooh, once again. I'll go with Commissioner Kennard for the moving.
Nice.
Commissioner Sweet, you want to second that motion?
Sure.
Okay. Second by Commissioner Sweet. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes 5-0.
It is recommended that the Commission adopt ALJ Haas's recommended decision in the proceeding involving the CSX Transportation, Inc.
Is there a motion to adopt staff recommendation?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Coleman, second by Commissioner Kennard. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? The motion passes 5-0.
It is recommended that the Commission adopt ALJ Buckley and Myers' recommended decision to approve a settlement agreement in the matter involving the general rate increase request of the Pennsylvania American Water Company.
Is there a motion to adopt the staff recommendation?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Kennard, second by Commissioner Coleman. Under discussion. Any discussion? Commissioner Kennard.
Thank you. When we approved the acquisition of the City of Scranton assets a year ago, there were several outstanding concerns, and I want to commend the parties and the company for coming to resolution on those issues. I think the ALJs accurately noted that reaching settlement was surely a challenging task, and there's no doubt that it was, but issues involving the acquisition premium, issues involving subsidies of wastewater customers by water customers, and the requirement to file a cost of service study separating out stormwater aspect of service were all resolved in this settlement to the accommodation of all parties. I'm also happy to see that the parties were able to work out a 3-year stay out, which will provide rate stability for the customers going forward.
Thank you, Commissioner Kennard. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes 5-0.
With that concluding the presentation of regular agenda items, we now turn to the carry-in agenda. It is recommended that the Commission adopt, on behalf of the Office of Special Assistance, the first 3 items pertaining to the proceedings involving the formal complaint of DeRay Norman versus Pico Energy Company, the application of Burkett Electric City Taxi, Inc., and then on page 2, the first matter involving the withdrawal of 2 PPL petitions for condemnation applications.
Is there a motion to adopt the staff recommendations?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Vice Chairman Place, second by Commissioner Kennard. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? The motion passes 5-0.
It is recommended that the Commission adopt the OSA recommendation in the matter involving the petition for reconsideration of the Philadelphia Gas Works annual increase in rates proceeding.
Is there a motion to adopt the staff recommendation?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Kennard, second by Vice Chairman Place. Any discussion?
Chairman, I just would ask that my statement be entered into the record as if fully read. It is a conflict statement that Rachel Maurer has not advised me in this matter due to the fact that she worked on it while she was an employee of Bureau of Investigation and Enforcement.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Kennard. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes 5-0.
It is recommended that the Commission adopt the Office of Special Assistance recommendation in the matter involving the Pike County Light and Power Company petition for extension of compliance deadline involving compliance with the Alternative Energy Portfolio Standards Act.
Is there a motion to adopt the staff recommendation?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Coleman, a second by Commissioner Sweet. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? The motion passes 5-0.
And on behalf of the Commission's Bureau of Technical Utility Services, it is recommended that the Commission adopt the staff recommendation involving revisions to Pico Energy Company's gas choice supplier coordination tariff.
Is there a motion to adopt the staff recommendation?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Sweet, second by Vice Chairman Place. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes 5-0.
Madam Chairman and Commissioners, that does conclude the presentation of public meeting agenda items.
Thank you very much. Before we adjourn, I have 2 things to bring to your attention. First of all, as you know, in the Public Utility Code, there is a statutory requirement that the commissioners elect their vice chairman annually, and we have done so in our executive session. I want to announce and congratulate Vice Chairman Andrew Place, who has been elected again by the commissioners to serve as vice chairman for the commission. Thank you very much. Congratulations to you. Secondly, I just want to recognize once again Commissioner Norman Kennard. He did a great job. Very first time, I remember when I first came and I sat there at the end and I didn't say a word. So congratulations to you. We do have a reception outside after our public meeting, so we ask you to stay around so you get an opportunity to also congratulate him individually. So if there's nothing else before the commission, I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Is there a second? Motion by Commissioner Sweet, second by Commissioner Kennard to adjourn. All those in favor? Any opposed? I see none. Meeting is adjourned.